All around are threats and conflicts. Volcanoes are erupting, finances are fluctuating wildly. Many people have simply lost their minds lately. It feels like the world is about to collapse. Global warming and flooding. And all of this is the reality of today. But one thing is important: take care of your emotional state. When you step away from the noise and start to look deeper, things become much easier. It's easier to see opportunities and to understand what's really happening, and simply to live more calmly, making important decisions for yourself and your family. Now, we're going to tell you what's truly important happening in the world, without panic and with a real understanding of the essence. These aren't just news stories, they're signals. Those who know how to read them, of course, come out ahead. Amid global tension and changes in the world economy, we've gathered the key news of the past week for you. This isn't just news, but a fact that points to future developments. At the time of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is $114,460. Let's determine the winner. Congratulations to the winner who guessed the most accurate Bitcoin price. This is a comment from Andrei Trindiak. The price indicated was $114,502. Congratulations. You are the winner of 50 USB. Take part in our upcoming episodes as well. Leave your comments. Each person can write up to 3 comments with an exact or approximate Bitcoin price. And in the next video, we'll determine the winner. It might just be you. Geopolitics is on the brink of escalation. The US and Russia are once again in confrontation. Against the backdrop of Dmitry Medvedev's tough statement, Donald Trump has moved nuclear submarines to strategically important locations. And this is a powerful signal. America is showing that it is ready to exert military pressure. Meanwhile, Russia is tightening internal control. A ban on VPN advertising, the ability to freeze accounts without a court order, and withdrawal from the moratorium on intermediate-range missiles. Where is this leading? The world is returning to a Cold War phase. And this is increasing demand for safe haven assets, a quiet harbor for money. Meanwhile, there are titanic shifts happening in the crypto market. The Genius Act is a law that requires stablecoins to have real dollars in accounts, real one-to-one reserves. The goal of this is to eliminate dubious projects. The Crypto Bible is a 160-page plan from the White House. It rejects the digital dollar, supports decentralization, offers tax incentives, and promotes the development of tokenization and blockchain technology. The SEC has announced a new system for regulating tokens. It will clearly define what is considered a security, how to report, and how to operate within the legal framework. International regulators, the BIS and FSB, warn that stablecoins threaten the sovereignty of developing countries. In Hong Kong, a license is being introduced for the issuance of only transparent stablecoins. What does this mean? Crypto is coming out of the shadows. This is the beginning of global legalization, which will help bring trillions of dollars into this market, primarily institutional capital. What's happening with the cryptocurrency market and where is the price headed? Despite pressure and sales from large wallets, Bitcoin remains a strong and resilient asset. On August 4th, in just one day, about $120 billion entered the cryptocurrency market. To this day, Bitcoin is holding the key zone above $100,000. If it breaks above $120,000, further growth will follow. And this is not speculation, but a reaction to real events. The Fed's easing, regulatory clarity, and political tensions are all positively impacting the growth of the cryptocurrency market. What does this mean for each of us? The world is changing, and we are standing at a crossroads. Geopolitical turbulence, financial reset, digital transformation through blockchain. If not so long ago, crypto was completely outside the law, exchanges didn't require verification, and you could withdraw unlimited amounts per day, gradually regulations started to be introduced. And today, a law on cryptocurrency is being introduced, which will, of course, contribute to the faster and more dynamic development of the crypto market and naturally will support the growth of crypto assets. If before the dollar was the only option, now digital instruments are emerging that complement it. For us, this is the beginning of a new cycle. It has long been clear where the economy is heading and that money from all over the world, the entire currency system, the entire financial system is moving into the cryptocurrency market, moving into the digital realm. If you take the entire cryptocurrency market, which is incomparable to show here on the screen alongside the general financial market, it is this tiny small market that will be absorbing the flow from the much larger financial market, and right now it is just a grain of sand. The economy of this grain of sand is going to expand tremendously, and all investors in the cryptocurrency market can expect massive growth. Thousands of percent still lie ahead. The news background over the past few years, since the start of military actions in Ukraine, has been extremely intense, and many people are experiencing physical and emotional burnout due to fears, lack of finances, and many other factors. It's hard to cope with this constant stream of information. So our recommendation to you is, give yourself the chance to take a break from time to time by simply putting away your information gadgets, disconnecting from the information flow, and just staying in silence. This will really help you restore your mental balance. And now, let's move on to our review of the cryptocurrency market just for you. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, leave a comment below. Alright, let's get started. I'll try not to mess up. Once again, in confrontation, confront, in coron, well, in short, confrontation, damn. Confrontation. There, the US and Russia are once again on the brink of conflict. Once again, in confrontation. Awesome, I finally said it right. The monthly candle has officially closed, and this significant monthly bar ultimately closed at around 115,700 USDT. This truly means that, at this very moment, the upward trend is being consistently maintained, and each subsequent candle is appearing higher, then even higher, and ultimately much higher. That's a good sign for continued growth. On the weekly time frame, we had a small corrective move here, where the wick touched the previous wick. In other words, the May wick touched the July wick, and there was a buyback. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames. Overall, the picture looks good. We'll open the charts and take a closer look from here. If we take an investor's position, a non-trading position, then of course we're moving within a range from $100,000 to approximately $155,000. Here, the price can move freely both up and down. For trading, we go long from the lower boundary, and from the upper boundary, we try short positions. Because in any case, around the 150,000 zone, there will be a reaction, either a pause or a significant correction, right? And a significant correction could even go all the way back to $100,000, although that's unlikely, because the upward trend is still being maintained. In the previous video, I mentioned that any corrective movement will be bought up by us, right? And basically, right now we can see that the price seems to have found its stopping point here, its reversal point. We've had a corrective move of about 9%. That's not much, but it's clear that money is moving from Bitcoin into altcoins. Further dips are possible, but again, I'll repeat that any dip will only be a positive, as it allows us to buy more. For now, I personally don't see any signs of the growth stopping. There are no signs except for one, the overbought condition on the RSI, but it can keep moving much higher from here. If we look at the previous highs we had, right here with the RSI overbought levels, it reached as high as about 92. The earlier highs were even higher, reaching up to 96 on the RSI. And those were the key highs, right here, right? But we also see some key, massive wicks here as well. So far, there isn't any real, significant turbulence in the financial market. Although right now, all these various political statements and decisive actions taken by nations around the entire world could potentially trigger major, impactful moves within the global economic landscape. It's important to understand that big moves are a good thing. And again, every dip will provide an opportunity to buy back in. If we see an opportunity in the market in the form of a sharp drop down, of course we'll try to buy the price back, because so far there's no sign that it's going any lower. When we see heavy selling in the market, for example, if the price drops very sharply and then bounces back by 20 or 30%, leaving a wick, that's the first sign that a more prolonged correction might be coming. But we'll talk more about that later. It's still too early, so this is just some information in advance in case it happens sooner. But for now, nothing like that is expected. So we have a trading range around 155,000, and I'm expecting a pause there. Possibly, from these points, we will try to take short positions down to about the middle of this range, around $125,000, and then we'll see how the price behaves here, whether it presses against the level and then breaks through to its $200,000. I still believe that in this growth cycle, Bitcoin will at least reach the $200,000 mark, and possibly even $250,000. And then there will be a certain range where the price will trade for a while, and over time, it will set new highs. But again, we will watch how events unfold in the world. Because for now, everything is going very, very well, and capital from traditional markets is just beginning to gradually flow in. It's not that I just believe it, I am absolutely certain that Bitcoin will be worth much more than $1 million. The proof of this is simply the numbers. By the way, leave a comment. In your opinion, to what levels could Bitcoin potentially grow from its current value? Do you think Bitcoin will reach $200,000 or even $250,000 in this growth cycle? It will be interesting to read your thoughts. Now let's move on to Ethereum. We have a positive scenario developing, a positive outlook. Here, we have a level around $3,750, where the price is consolidating right at the candle body, right? And then we see wicks extending all the way up to $4,000. It's a kind of trading corridor, right? A trading range of a major strong level, which we've basically had since 2021. There have been many approaches to this level. This is on the monthly time frame. There have already been a significant number of touches. And the more times this price level is tested, the weaker it becomes, and there's a potential for a quick breakout beyond it, right? Here as well, we can see there's a triple bottom, right? This can be either a continuation pattern or a reversal pattern. It's this kind of pattern, 1, 2, and 3. It performs very well, really very well. The level is being squeezed, and this gives me a key signal that Ethereum's growth is bound to continue. Everything points to this, both technically and otherwise, from different perspectives. Let's take a look at approximately how far this pattern could play out. Usually it's measured from the largest bottom, right? And here we can get roughly this kind of measurement. So there could be a very rapid breakout after consolidating above $4,000, all the way up to $10,000, maybe even $11,000. And here, a certain trading range is possible, with further consolidation and then a move up to around $15,000. And the peaks of this price could be somewhere around $15,000 to $17,000 for Ethereum, as I see it from a technical analysis perspective on higher time frames. So that's my take on Ethereum, my thoughts, how I make decisions myself, and what I base my buying or selling on. The drop has basically already played out. If it consolidates below $3,350, there's potential for a quick drop to around $2,900. We've already worked through the divergence. There was a pretty good drop right here, right? And the divergence played out as expected. Here we can see the discrepancy in the price. Of course, you also need to know how to read it correctly. That's already a skill. That's why you need to study, and study again. Don't jump into trading, especially without knowledge. Knowledge helps everywhere. Moving on. After breaking through $4,000, there was a rapid rise to the $4,800 zone. From a trading perspective, I have marked out the levels here that I pay attention to. You might want to pay attention to them as well. But again, I'm just sharing my thoughts. These are not financial recommendations, but simply what I focus on and base my decisions on. Next, let's look at Ethereum to Bitcoin. Ethereum to Bitcoin also looks quite strong. Finally, this global reversal, right? We've been waiting for 2 years, even a bit more, 3 years, for this major decline to end. And it has ended. I can say that with confidence. And now Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin in growth by almost 90%. And this is just the beginning. Next, in this range, around 0.043 to 0.045, maybe 0.044, even 0.045, that will already be a breakout. Somewhere around here, there might be a temporary pause, and once the downward trend line is broken, it will take off much, much higher. Well, we'll keep watching and of course keep you informed. As for BNB, the situation remains the same as before. We see a good formation here, a bullish formation, yes, which should push the price into the zone of as much as $2,400, around $2,200, but at the very least $2,000 for BNB. And this is a great picture because the bullish flag is starting to play out. Consolidation above $700 allows the asset to move into the $1,000 zone, roughly, right? Here, a possible trading range may form some consolidation and then a further significant level up to as much as $1,500. There is good growth potential from these levels, up to 30% to the next level. And from the following level, there is as much as 50% potential. These are large trading corridors, which are good both for trading and because the price can move very quickly and strongly here. Those are basically my thoughts on the market. Thank you for your attention and for being with us. Again, leave your comments. We'll be happy to read them and respond. Thank you for your attention. See you next time and goodbye.